What is up, guys? Back in today with another reaction on the channel. Today I'll be reacting to the Natsume Yuujinchou movie. Forgot the name of it now. Ephemeral Bonds, I believe it's called. Very much excited for this. Heard really good. Well, I haven't really heard too many people speaking about it, but I've seen it's got good scores and good ratings on the reviews and such. So, yeah, I'm expecting to really enjoy it. Obviously going to be a bit longer than your usual episode, so do strap in. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about this in the comments. Leave a like on the video if you guys do like, and subscribe to the channel if you want to keep up to date. Respectful, friendly, and cheerful. There's no one there. Oh god. Just a memory. I say a nightmare. Just a memory. So with this movie, is this adapted from the manga, or is this original? I'm gonna assume it's original, to be honest. I don't really know, but just the way the anime kind of adapts, there's never been more than like a 3 episodes kind of story. So going from like a max like 50 minutes worth of story to almost 2 hours is quite a lot. How's those little cute guys again? Seen them before. I'm also wondering, and I think it will be the case, that this is kind of okay for people that haven't watched Natsume Yuujinchou to watch. I imagine there's like going to be a bit of a slight summary at the start here. And again, you probably get enjoyment out of it even if you haven't seen the series. But yeah, I kind of wish I looked that up now. Again, I am going to assume that this is anime original, but probably had some involvement from the author, I assume. There was that whole stage of like anime movies for a little while. Just every anime had to have like movies. They were all really successful for the most part. One of the reasons I say that is because, again, I know that she is only in one chapter in the manga, I believe, so the fact that she's even involved in this movie makes me think that. So in box. That's what I am hoping with this, though. I'm hoping it is just like an extended episode. Doesn't try to be too flashy. That bit of animation with the yokai and the dream was a little flashy. It was nice looking for sure. Yeah, this is what I'm talking about. I feel like you're gonna like this. It looks nice, but I think when you make a movie, it's like an excuse for oh, what's that thing again? It almost looks like one of those balls from Doom. Those red ball things. But yeah, I think it can be like an excuse to like show off a bit of your nice animation for your movie. If you know what I'm saying? Like the standouts for Natsume for me have never been the action. Hey, there he is. He has arrived. He's a cute little guy. Is that a cool guy? Nice. I was waiting for when he'd arrive. But yeah, as I said, I feel like almost every anime movie has to have, even if it's not action focused, it's got to have this bit of action to show we're not fucking around with this movie. We're making it look good. So yeah, thank you, little hairball thing. Hairball shadow thing. So I think I heard about him from the synopsis. So he's going to be a decently big part of this movie, I believe. That bro's just talking to a wall. Reminds me of that Rize. Wow. I was expecting there to be a body. Yeah, it reminds me of that Rize thing from Persona 4. He's just staring at a light on a wall the whole time. Ugh. Well, he's not exactly got the longest legs, has he? Makes sense. And there is a human equivalent to that called your room. There's those death flowers. So I am watching this at a different place than usual with different subtitles, and these subtitles actually seem more accurate, which is good. So this place calls them Ayakashi. The original place I watched Natsume called them yokai, and the one I watched in between those called them demons. And they all have a vaguely similar kind of meaning, I guess, but I think this is more accurate. It's now Ayakashi slash yokai. On Mombo. That's the good thing about being seen like that. One look over there, you scare them away. One of the positives, I guess. Joe Bushinai. Yep, who would have guessed that? Like showbush, you know. I've got to give it to Reiko. She's damn good at all her games, isn't she? They all vary quite a lot as well. Not always just the same game. A lot of the time, it is just like, yeah, something similar to this, trying to capture them or gather things or something. That was awesome, wasn't it? That's a little show of her kind of nature right there. Rather than do anything to win the game, she won anyway. uh, I think a bit of something just came out of my nose. You guys didn't see that. Apologies. Um, yeah, she didn't just that took me by surprise a little bit. Blow my nose in a minute. Yeah, rather than just win the game by any cost or anything, she helped out someone that sees her in that way. Like she doesn't care how they view her. Just a good showing of her nature. I think we're going to get more Reiko, aren't we? Because again, I did read in the synopsis, she seems to be a pretty decent portion of this movie, and you guys know I absolutely love my Reiko flashbacks. Oh, wow, perfect timing. Just some tasting. Oh, you know, why even say that? Why even say that, Nyanka? Just like what we saw with Reiko, you know he can't help himself. Oh, sorry guys. Like I said, my hay fever's not been too good recently. Last couple of days have been quite bad. Luckily, I'm not quite as snotty as a minute ago. Maybe I am, but yeah, not quite as sneezing, quite as much. Not quite as snotty as I've been the last couple of days. So I could see that happening quite a lot with Japanese people. Just an endless kind of bow to each other. It's almost like one of those handshakes where you like, yeah. Good bit of training for your weak legs, Natsume. This is bit of uphill walking. Oh crap! Is that the same woman? That exact same woman. Oh, plum. Slightly recognise him. Oh, not another one. Not another one. Okay, I was gonna say she seems a bit softened to this whole thing now, doesn't she? Ah, another one. We're like, oh, another one. Who's this strange fella? I was just staring at a tree. It's a nice place she's got here. I like the artworks on the on walls, the wallpaper, I guess you call it. We've got no idea. Like, I don't think we've seen a single thing to do with him. Oh, on that point, I say that there was a thing. I think it was at the end of season 6, just before this movie came out, I believe. That did say something about one of Natsume's relatives. I'm not sure if it was specifically talking about his grandfather, but it was about one of Natsume's relatives that also could see yokai, and he was a man in the past. So, um, yeah, maybe we might have heard about him a little bit, but maybe not. We definitely haven't seen him or pretty much anything to do with him. So, this would be quite an interesting route for this movie to take, wouldn't it? I would like. Well, that's the thing. I would like to know, but I don't like massively need to or anything. So like, that's context we need, to be honest, is it? And it's interesting because it kind of keeps us in the same position as Natsume, and I really like that with my shows and movies. Keeps us on the same page. It's one of those things where, as an audience, you're inevitably going to know a bit more than like the characters in the series. And if that gets to knowing too much, you kind of get a little bit pissed off at the characters not realizing things that you realize. So he's got a really interesting son here. No, I wouldn't be surprised if. Oh dear, these guys are so clumsy, bro. Natsume got the fucking yokai gene. These guys got the clumsy ass genes, didn't they? Jesus Christ. But yeah, I wouldn't be too surprised if he can see yokai, to be honest, considering he was just randomly staring at a tree earlier. Yeah, that makes sense considering how all of these interesting artworks. Really nice, doesn't it? That was a nice time, wasn't it? The thing though, it's always that lingering, like, she's really nice. It's always that lingering thought of how she was in the past, though, isn't it? Treated Reiko like an outsider and such. There's always like a little bit of, maybe resentment's a hard word to use, but from my end, there's always like a little bit of like, yeah, you're lovely, you're nice, your son's lovely, but in the past you did treat someone very similar to Natsume in a certain manner. Of course, you can get around that because they're kids, and kids always do horrible stuff like that. And they do change. It's a very a big change from that age to like 5 years later, for example. But yeah. Smelly. Yeah, it was miles away. And you know what? Yeah, it's been a while since Natsume has been cursed. This sounds terrible, but I kind of would like to see him cursed again. I'd like to see a situation like that. That sounds terrible. Man, that was ages ago. Again, that was ages ago. I barely even remember this. Good speech. I love that. I think that is a something that is we do see as well, like these interactions. Again, I might not look back and fondness. Oh, she won the medal. It's good. But yeah, we see not just these guys, but everybody. Sorry to pause again, but we see not just these guys. Referring to the woman we met earlier this episode. I mean, it's not quite as much, but she had like a slight interaction with just Reiko, not with Yokai or anything, and she seemed to have softened a little bit to Reiko in her ways as she grew older, as she learnt more about the world. Like we do usually see this, don't we? Interaction with yokai and actually kind of positively affects not just how you interact with it kind of having an interaction with that kind of unknown, with that kind of mysterious kind of usually you'd consider kind of sinister type being actually kind of ends up being a positive. Like not everything is like the way it kind of seems. Sometimes sometimes the things you're terrified of and scared of or want to know more about are actually very endearing, and yeah, you should be more accepting of those things you don't understand. And yeah, yeah, that was a really good speech. I think that summed things up really nicely. Summed up some of the major themes of the last couple seasons of Natsume Yuujinchou. Who's this guy? Yuki. Oh, he's got that voice actor. Who the hell was this guy? I don't recognise him. But yeah, he's got that voice actor. Can't remember what other roles he's done, but he's like awfully specifically got like a really kind of quietish, introverted, like high school voice, and he does it like perfectly. think he does the little kid in Persona 3. Ken, I think his name is. Ah, so he's from a previous school. I mean, that's reasonable to assume, Bianca. Daisuke the liar. That's not. They aren't talking about Natsume. Was he Daisuke Yuki? Really? Obake. So he is just lying. And the only people who've seen him call ghosts are humans so far. Why is the music getting so suspenseful right now? Feels like he kind of wants things to be like crazy and yeah, I don't know. Really? So I'm assuming the kid can't see this guy. It'd be definitely paying attention. So he was lying. Oh, so he can't even see the water. So he was lying, I guess. And now you got the awkward walk home. I think I've done that. I mean, and I never really had a fight with anyone properly, but I've definitely had that kind of falling out, kind of awkward walk home with that person. So Kansas stereo. Look at that. Swift little guy, isn't he? I mean, I know this sounds unethical, but I don't think Natsume should. You don't want to be paying for all of Nanko's food. I mean, that's not oh, fuck, of course. For 30 years. Yeah, you don't want to be stealing per se, but maybe have Nanko ask for some leftovers or something at the bakery or whatever. Some expensive treats, that Nyanko. He is the Dublin himself, really. Damn, really now? Brutal. Botaneco. Damn, really? We're going this hard for them? Kind of deserve it, to be fair. We'll get them to pay for it somehow. So why does that cross your mind? You're a young man. There's got to be a reason for that, surely. I mean, you always think of what is there after you pass and so on, but yeah. That is pretty cool, isn't it? So honestly, that guy with the corn looks more like a pig than anyone. Oh dear. Time to revert. Oh, he's got a tick on him. Oh no. But we always get told about going out. Like I always used to go out to like the forest and the trees and such. You always get told about ticks and all sorts. The worst thing for me again was the allergies, hay fever, like going near the flowers and such. Living in the country, it's inevitable. But I never had like a tick or anything. Luckily. There's something going on with this guy, isn't there? I mean, I don't know really. I assume I assume that boy isn't a yokai because his mum can see him, and pretty damn sure we know that his mum can't see yokai considering how she was treating Reiko. And we also saw him go into a shop earlier. We didn't see any interacting with him inside the shop or anything, but we saw him go into a shop. So I think that's like reason enough to believe he is a human boy. But what's the smell of yokai? It's obviously coming from that house. We haven't even like had a glimpse of anything, so it's not the boy. Is it the mother that's a yokai? I can't imagine so. I don't know. I've got no idea. But something yokai is going on in that house, isn't it? And maybe that's why this woman seems to be more kind of okay with stuff to do with Reiko and so on as an older woman. Maybe it's just that she's more accepted, or maybe it's the case that she's actually got to experience something kind of ephemeral, I guess you'd say. Because last time he said he smelled like that, the yokai he saw was ages away. There's no way it would have smelled like him. Do you reckon it's the guy in the shadows? He's lurking about. The guy we saw at the start of the episode. Oh dear, that can't be good. You know this thing's no good. It looks like a cocoon. Looks like a spiky cocoon. And something's going to grow. Oh, it was a seed. So that looks exactly like that tree we saw in the shrine thing. What are those? Well, they kind of do. They kind of do. But I don't think they'll be able to see it. Yeah. Just as well, they can't see it. I was also gonna say that are they just gonna walk straight through it? Got to imagine at some point someone's gonna walk into it. Strange looking tree, isn't it? I mean, the fact that it grew that large in a night is insane in itself. So it's some kind of spirit tree, some kind of world tree or something. Well, it definitely influenced it, judging from those. Look at those. They are just Nyanko, aren't they? They're Nyanko fruits. That is you. That's what you came to there. They're delicious. That's yourself you're looking at. And now it's withering. This is not good news, to be honest, is it? Does not seem like good news. And it was delicious. I don't know. Something bad's coming from this. I can just see it now. It's gonna like grow into a tree or something. Yeah, something bad's gonna happen here. What the fuck? Oh my god, what the hell? Pretty damn adorable, aren't they? Well, I guess I was kind of right. They did grow into leaves, not quite a tree, but they are really adorable. But yeah, they've got like 1 leaf, 2 leaf, 3 leaves. So I guess they are kind of trees in a sense. They're growing leaves. Something tells me she probably won't be able to see them now. So I'd kind of be funny to see something like this happen to Natsume. We had something similar, um, but not really similar. But we had not Natsume. We had like I could pretend to be Natsume. It's probably the closest thing we had to this. But it'd be interesting to see like Natsume like split up into like 4 little Natsumes. Almost a bit like Army of Darkness. If you guys have seen that movie, Ash kind of yeah, get miniaturized. Whole gang's it. The pack of dogs, I think they're called. Kazuma Kiryu back there. True. That's food poisoning. Oh, yeah. Doesn't look like that's going to be possible. Giddy out. We're just squishing them back together. Almost like you're squishing grapes to make wine. That was close. Oh, 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 duh. So what the fuck's this now? Gotta spin them around. What was the point of that? These guys are taking the absolute piss. Just throw them at each other. But we've just tried the same method in 3 different ways. Come on, guys. Honestly, I don't blame them. Poor guys. Poor bloody guys. Ah, they didn't catch one of them. It's going to be very hard to find him now, isn't it? He's so small. He's not going to want to come back here. So we can rule this place out. I will say, I do hope we get. You guys know I love my Natori. I hope we see, at least see like a scene of Natori or something in the movie. Doesn't look like he's going to be in here though, does it? I think he's honestly probably got one of the most powerful relationships to Natsume, in my opinion. Atoru. So they can be seen by humans. Okay. Oh, I don't think he will. Kind of feels like even his IQ and brain power got split into three. Just getting that out there into the world is enough in itself. You know what? Yeah, she could be some help here. Oh, come on, Taki. No. Give in to your lust for cats. What? So what is going on here exactly? Um, I mean, this is probably absolute nonsense, but I feel like maybe someone's interacted with that water. I mean, that was in a totally different place actually, but it feels like something like that. Like you, the wind is literally changing the character's decisions. Um, like she was decided to go that way. I mean, for Taki, it's almost like again, it's almost like her. It's reasonable to assume like, oh, she just like it's not even like she had a change of heart. She just gave into her temptations of wanting to pet cats. So that one's like reasonable, but there is like a gust of wind that happens when she does like change her mind here. Like she's about to walk away, and then a gust of wind now comes, and she turns around. And again, reasonable to assume for her, she just gave into her temptations. But the same thing happens here with these guys. It's like, no, that can't be Natsume's cat. And then a gust of wind comes in, and then all of a sudden, it's definitely Natsume's cat. So yeah, like I said, I don't think it does refer back to this, but it kind of feels like that whole kind of paths of like the human. I mean, not that Nyako is massively important to humans, I guess, but yeah, it kind of feels like something like what we saw with Natsume and that young Yuki boy. Someone maybe like turning the screws of kind of fate and leading them towards helping Nyako or something along those lines. Again, probably spouting nonsense here, but it is strange that this wind is kind of seemingly influencing their decisions. Sorry, guys, my nose is still quite stuffy, so I can hear I'm talking slightly strange. Oh dear. I could breathe from my nose. I haven't really been able to the last couple of days. Yeah, let's save one for number one. Oh, you little rats. And do you ever want to turn back? At this point, do you want him back to how he was? See how cute these guys are? That sounds bad to say, but maybe he's better off like this. Have we lost another one? God, that wouldn't be surprising if that one ate him. Do you reckon he's under one of those bowls? That's my guess. How do you get out? They just see him as... What the hell? So they see him as old Nyanko? But Tanimo definitely didn't. Gutta. Man, I love that guy. Now, I can't lie, it does kind of this does kind of feel like it is like there's like a few stories going on here, isn't there? There's like the stuff with that Yuki guy, there's the stuff with Reiko's old school mate. Not really a mate, but school person, I guess. It does, and we haven't really kind of settled those stories or situations, have we? So really interesting pace. And now we've gone into this kind of Nyanko situation. It's very interesting structure so far for a movie, isn't it? Like I said, it feels like they could be kind of episodes. So maybe they are. Maybe this is kind of source material, and they could kind of mishmash these stories into one movie. Yeah, how could you? You had a crush on her. Strange goings on here, isn't there? People are remembering things differently. People aren't remembering things that they should be remembering. Something very strange is going on over here, isn't it? As I said, it maybe feels like the winds of oh yeah, sorry guys. Maybe that Yuki guy did go back to that place and start messing with the water that he couldn't even see. Because it does again. It feels like the winds of people's cognition and memories are changing. That direction of where they should be going. Slash, yeah, something very, very odd is at wind here. I don't have a clue what. Is this all to do with this tree? I don't know. I feel like there's even more to it than just the tree seed thing. But the whole case of there being some kind of yeah, the whole case of there being some kind of yokai presence. That's maybe in the midst of that house where there was no yokai to be seen. Like, what the hell's going on here? It wouldn't be too surprising if these guys forget who they're looking for. That's me right now. What's going on? What the hell is going on? Really? You're letting these guys take care of them again? If I can keep hold of them this time. Hmm. That would be disastrous. Yeah, I do agree. There is some kind of link here between this place, isn't there? And that yokai presence and the memories and yeah. Oh, it didn't end up in the field this time. Good. Guy honestly should just walk everywhere. And again, maybe not, because they'd probably just twist his ankle or something. Maybe be even worse. Which is interesting considering how she I mean it's not she didn't massively, but essentially she condemned Reiko for the same thing. All those kids did. There sure is, isn't there? There's something other than the fact that he's clumsy as hell. There's something up with that guy, isn't there? Up with that family. And again, I imagine I mentioned all the stories earlier. I imagine they all kind of link in at some point to this kind of overall story, right? Just got no idea how they do at this point. Huh. Oh, there it is. Here he is. Quite the suave theme, hasn't he? The Natalie. It pretty much his theme is pretty much summed up in this short. It feels like a kind of warm sunset, romantic kind of yeah. That is like that shot there is exactly how his theme sounds. Getting waltzed up in a romance by the sea on holiday or something. Back to business. What happened to Taki then? We haven't even seen her since she was looking for Nyanka. And it looks like nobody's home. They are home. A random boy sent it home. Oh my god. It's that boy. Holy crap. Ah, what the fuck? But it's to do with him. I did. Oh, was that a dream? I mean, that kind of goes with what I said earlier about him going back to that place and maybe changing fate. Maybe he switched positions with Natsume. Perhaps that's the case. Perhaps he was always a bit jealous of Natsume. Because the thing is, I mean, it wasn't good attention. It wasn't nice attention. It wasn't being popular, but it was attention. And I think, especially as kids, you always kind of crave something like that. Even if you always crave attention of your parents or your peers or teachers or whatever. Some people more than others, of course, but perhaps he was actually the unthinkable, and he was actually jealous of Natsume, and he wanted to be in that position of being looked at in a kind of special way, even if that is negatively. Um, and yeah, that's why he was lying. He wanted to be that guy. Interesting. And now it's kind of like, again, maybe he did go back and interact with that and change his and Natsume's positions, where now things are slowly kind of turning. So I mean, this was a dream here, but we know dreams hold quite a bit of weight actually in Natsume Yuujinchou and in real life as well. They're pretty much a personification of what's going on in your head and such, aren't they? Personification is not the right word, but you get what I'm saying. They're a pretty good kind of mental stability kind of indicator and kind of good indicating your mental state. But yeah, it's like this kind of thing. They're slowly switching. People are losing memories. People are switching characters out in their head. People are forgetting people, and eventually they will switch. Natsume, that this Yuki boy is in the same position as Natsume. Really interested in that actually. So I think this is probably a good time for me to have a pause for a couple of minutes and blow my nose and get myself sorted for the second half. I mean, I can understand how the first, yeah, oh, there it is. I was gonna say I can understand how the first one kind of got away, but why would their instinct be to kind of run away? So there's still Yanko in there, isn't it? Bless him. But one positive and another positive is when he is on the shoulder, I imagine that is quite a lot lighter for Natsume. Hmm. Really? Yeah. I was not expecting them to lead us here, of all places. They even meet Yanko Sensei? What the hell is going on here? And she doesn't know who they are? What the fuck is going on here? There's that wind again. What the hell is going on here? What do I think? Oh, they're talking. Something about being in the house, maybe? Ah, they're on top of each other. I bet you have. So why is that? And he's not weirded out by a talking cat. So it is him. And he is a yokai. Yet everybody can see him. Well, I mean, we've seen that yokai are able to be seen when they've taken special like supplements, especially in season 1, I think. Okay. So he was the contracted yokai we heard about from those exorcists. Ah, well, that's wow, really? They're always fated to become someone that the person he interacts with knew, living so many different lives. Huh. That really is quite cursed, especially this part. That's all nice, living in your delusion, but then to leave and back to have nothing, and Jesus, it's quite a horrible existence, isn't it? Actually, that's quite nice, but yeah, it's also quite horrible. He seems to have grown quite attached to the lady, hasn't he? Well, yeah, that seems to already be the case, and it would be impossible not to, from his perspective. But again, when he does leave, to see it all kind of go back to how it was must be very depressing. So that was that his seed he left behind. Is that her? So he kind of upheld that promise for the other god. No, he wasn't there to grant it. Oh yeah, it's like if you have the power to do something about it, it'd be hard not to if she comes there every year. If you see her whole growth as a person, you see her the day or near the time that her son died, lost everything. It would feel quite cruel not to do anything, but it's equally cruel doing something. By the end, anyway. That sounded painful. Yeah, was that Yoko we saw earlier? So that's why we saw that photo of him earlier. We saw him mountain climbing in a picture, didn't we? How long's it been? Feels like it's been ages. Sure was. But you found your destination, Natsume. You found your destination in the end. Maybe he's found his, honestly. That's the question I have. Okay, so it split his mind into like three as well. Okay. Leave. He has to leave. So I imagine they do as well. Well, they're getting abused, bro. One of them was anyway. One of them ran off because of the abuse. I mean, they all ran off because of the abuse, but one of them got away. So you can't blame them for that one. I've got a really kind of, it's not exactly a bad feeling, but I guess a bad feeling about the fact that to sort this out, unfortunately, he is going to have to leave. And like I said, I feel like he might have actually found a good like place here that he seems to want to be settled in. Yeah. So what was that about with that boy? Still don't understand that part of it. And I know that was a dream, but there's got to be more to that Yuki boy as well, right? Yeah. Yeah. I had a feeling this would be the case. Really kind of sucks. Although again, it's still like I know it's lovely, but it's also like she's almost trapped in a kind of perfect world that isn't real. She even calls her mum. But yeah, it's like again, it seems lovely, but at the end of the day, again, it's just not. It's, yeah, can't be stuck in a delusion like that your whole for however long. Natsume arrived. Are you here? So it's amazing that we were able. Oh, look at her at the back. It's amazing that we were able to tell what he said there, even though he didn't actually really say anything, but just with like the sounds he was making. Yeah, he's here because of those exorcists we saw earlier. Habaki. But I wouldn't phrase it like that. But it is somewhat cruel. Kind but cruel. Cruel to be kind. I remember that song. Okay. In his memory. So he's back again. It's been a while. Okay, so that's number 3. Get me out of here. Oh, he's got food. This fucking guy. Sneaking. I mean, I used to sneak in Natsume, he's pretty damn sure. From ages ago. Nice, bit of a froggy distraction. Oh, he's got a lead? Oh, God. Okay, good job, Tanema. Give back my cat. Give back my bloody cat. Strangling Yanko like that with that lead. Oh. Bit of rude awakening. Wow, well done. Fucking idiots. Take the piss. The only place they didn't have to aim for, they fucking missed. These low-level exorcists. Useless. And perhaps there's a case of like she can. I mean, I know this whole yokai element and the whole memory element, but perhaps it's also a case of her like treating Natsume okay, as opposed to Reiko, because she can now understand that kind of isolation, loneliness. You have to go through that, the passing of her son. You guys need to just fuck off. Is it? The Reiko met here. I wonder who he was when Reiko met him. Ah, good job. Good job from her. Good point, actually. But he wanted it for his own wants. It would be, I think that would be quite a popular thing for people to look for something to replace their past loved ones and such, who just can't get over their deaths and so on. I do. I mean, again, I know it might sound bad, but I do hope he does get to kind of pass on this imposter yokai. Anyway, it's good at finding sticks. As if any of you guys know, I mean, all you guys should, a lot of you guys should hopefully know. Finding good sticks was always a good pastime as a kid. Finding the best sticks, and I've got to say, Natsume's always finding some good ass sticks to make these circles with. Well, damn. Man just jumped off that edge, just not knowing anything about what what that looked like under there. Yeah, I mean, look at that. Holy shit. I almost just jumped his death. Crazy. Leave the rest to me. Like you've done anything. Taking all the credit in Atari. Everybody that puts in the hard work captures this way thing, and you get all the credit because you used a spell to right at the end after we subdued it. Okay, nice. So it worked. Huh. It looks kind of similar to Yanko's true form. I don't know. Damn. No, I think it would make quite a bit of sense if he was like a phoenix, like being. But it does sound. It doesn't look very cute, but sound like a baby. Okay, that was quite peaceful. Okay. Squirrel one that multiplies. Put your peanuts there. Get them multiply. So maybe I will get my wish of seeing a couple, maybe a few little Natsumes. Yeah, I think we've had a bit too much this session. No, I think we got to see almost every kind of mainish character from the series in this, didn't we? Which is awesome. Ah, nice. She got memory back. So I wonder if she like remembers that whole 8 years they spent together, or if that just like disappears. I can't imagine it does, right? But I don't know. Doesn't remember all that. Okay. Oh dear. And it really does kind of suck. So it really was just like there was no winning here. To be honest, was there? Rusty Bell. So what was the deal with that boy? I still don't like fully see how that played into things too much. Like I can understand to a certain point. But I don't know about you guys. I felt like there was something more still with this boy that was kind of lying about things. Maybe it was more so for like the themes rather than an actual story to do with him. Oh, that is pretty damn cool. That is. There's many yokai that do. They very much are people. Ah, look at that thing. Oh, it was. Mm, good. I'm glad about that because it could have easily just all just come bundling in after like those 8 years and just be like, oh shit. And it could have all just came at once, but it seemed rather than falling off a cliff, it rather slid down a slope. Like that. So we are back. Okay, I was hoping we would be. Again, I did think it came from a place of like appreciation and jealousy a little bit. So it kind of is a little bit like that woman's thoughts to Reiko a little bit. More to like the opposite degree where she was scared and she would kind of yeah, it's almost like the opposite of what she done, but still like not great if you know what I'm saying. Is that 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 train say yeah? So I think if I did really think about it for a longer time, there probably is a lot more that plays in with this guy lying and essentially being an imposter himself. There's probably a lot that relates to him and the yokai that we saw kind of essentially lying as well and being someone that he's not. Like there's probably even more connective tissue than I even kind of realize right now. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. I love my songs in Natsume, so I will be listening to this. I'm really not usually someone to kind of watch credits or anything, but when it's got like a new song or something attached, I will be here. But yeah, really good movie, really good. I love how it all kind of interweaved into one overall story with one with a kind of bigger message. It was a lot of fun. A lot of fun today. See pretty much all the cast. And I'm glad it kind of was a bit of a happy ending, at least for something that didn't really have any kind of way of ending well. Oh, which studio worked on this? They did look great, didn't they? This is probably the. I mean, of course, it's a movie, but this is probably the best that Natsume's looked. But it still held that classic Natsume style. It wasn't overly flashy, as I mentioned in the intro. It definitely had a few kind of bigger action moments than usual to show off a little bit, but it wasn't out of place or anything. And it looked great. I also do like how it was actually quite hard. I think I mentioned like the midway point. It was quite hard to actually realize how all of these stories were connected at that point, and it managed to really bring it all together in that second half, didn't it? Like, how does Nyanko go into three parts mix in with the Shokai that takes some resemblance of people, and how does that mix into this boy that is lying about seeing yokai and such? I do think I will say one criticism is I do wish we got a little bit more of that segment with the imposter boy. To be honest with you, especially to like end off the movie, like that was a nice way to end off. But I would have liked to see maybe even more of that whole kind of situation. But maybe that's just me asking for maybe being a bit greedy. I don't know. Awesome song as well, by the way. It really fits. I mean, that's just the thing with Japanese media in general. See, they seem to actually make songs specifically for what they're doing. Like this song is so it's obviously just based off this movie. You don't really get that in like Western movies, do you? You don't really get like they usually take popular songs that are popular already and massive already and place them into their work, whereas here they actually make songs specifically for the work, and it just feels that much more impactful. That's why I listen to a lot more Japanese music, because you actually like you build up a kind of rapport with a song, like an opening song. If it's one of my favorite series, I'm bound to listen to the song of that series quite a lot, especially if it's a really good song. And then those feelings kind of come back, so I've got more of an affinity towards it. One of the reasons what makes the songs in Natsume Yuujinchou so powerful, because it's not just like the song's great, the lyrics and everything reminding you, even if you don't fully understand them because they're in Japanese, is the lyrics and such reminding you of those scenes and your favorite episodes and so on. I would like to see that a bit more from like Western media, just make specific songs for their kind of TV series. Like I'm currently just about to watch the last episode of Last of Us, and it's just like the intro to Last of Us. It's just like a 40-second just music clip of, yeah, it's just not very impactful, and that's the case with pretty much almost every TV series I've ever watched in live action. And it's important. It's an important thing. You hear a lot about how like someone, for me as well, like you see a lot of people, they watch an opening or an ending of the series and that makes you interested in getting into it. That's happened to me a lot. Gintama, for example, I think one of the first things I ever watched in anime was the Sakura Mitsusuki opening for Gintama, and that always had a bit of a hold on me of wanting to watch that series, even though I knew it was like 400 episodes long. Just because of that opening, I wanted to watch that whole series. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Really good movie here. Like I said, really like this song. Definitely adding this to the playlist of powerful Natsume Yuujinchou songs. But yeah, fantastic. As I said, it kind of did feel like maybe three kind of stories, kind of all kind of collecting into one in a really interesting way. So maybe this is I don't know. Is this source material? It kind of feels like it could be. It also feels like it very much could be standalone as well. And yeah, just really well integrated those kind of three stories into this, especially in that second half, adding them all together and playing into each other's themes. What was really cool. Again, lots of cute moments here, some really nice action. I love seeing all the cast. Natsume got a nice big portion at the end here. Nyanko was a bit of the star of the show with the whole triplet thing going on, which was really cool. But yeah, some awesome stuff. Lots of Reiko right at the beginning of the movie and then right at the end here. Always appreciate that. But yeah, really awesome stuff. Do let me know what you guys thought about this movie down in the comments. We've got another one coming up after this, which is quite a bit shorter by an hour, I believe. And I think, as someone did mention to me, it's just 2 episodes kind of put together and released as a movie. So yeah, pretty much just like a double special then. But yeah, again, let me know what you guys thought of this one down in the comments. Leave a like on the video if you guys did enjoy it, and subscribe to the channel if you want to keep up to date with these reactions. And I'll be back in a few days with the second movie, and then after that movie I think we'll be going straight into season 7.